if I should. It's crazy. I don't even know how to do it. I mean, what is this? Anyway, I got my friend had the little vape. I'm a little worried, honestly, by the young people with the vaping and they just do this and then they just vape and they just stand on the corner and puff and look at the fucking thing. And I miss you. That's what it is. I miss you people. Because you used to stand around like this, and I get to go, fuck that one, and that was okay. But now I'm just looking at the top of people's heads now. But I didn't realize how, like my friend, I have a younger friend who vapes, and she told me it's just to kind of like calm down. She's like, I barely feel it, you know? Sometimes it helps me sleep. So one night we're hanging out, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. Maybe I'll just try it. So I took one little tiny hit. I was insane. I was completely insane. I was in my house. I couldn't even walk past the window. I had to go under the windows because I was afraid of the inside of my own brain. So I started texting people, just texting. I'm so high. I'm so fucking high. I'm so high. And I texted, to another friend. I'm so high. I want to suck the pot jizz out of my own dick and get higher. That's what I wrote. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that's what I wrote. And I sent it. And then later I looked at my text and I was like, I think I might have sent that to my 12-year-old daughter. I think it's possible. And I didn't, but I too easily could have. Now my kids are in my phone. There needs to be some very reliable firewall that says these numbers are much harder to text. That you can't just, whoops, traumatized her irreversibly. That you can go like, to write to these numbers, I have to solve the Hellraiser puzzle, and I have to, there's two guys with the keys at the opposite room that turn them at the same moment, and there's a warning, are you sure you want to send this picture of your pubic hair to your ex-wife's mother? That's how you want to break the silence 6 years since the divorce. This is my pubic hair. Look at all of my pubic hair. How have you been? I'm 45 now, so I'm either halfway through a healthy life or almost done with not so healthy life. I don't know which one. I won't know till it's over where this was. I don't know how long I'm gonna live. I don't know. Nobody knows, I guess. I think human life expectancy is pretty good. We get a good run, Some people die early, If I die now, people will be like, oh, that's too bad. If I die 5 years from now, they'll be like, oh, all right. Like, it's not even, it's... Like, as soon as you're 50, you're a candidate. You know there's no candlelight vigils for 50-year-old guys that die. And you start pushing in the area. And, some people get to be like 80s, 90s. There are people that get to like 114, and then they're in the news. And it's always some old guy. I met Napoleon. No, you didn't. You liar. You oldest liar in the world. But 45, you're not old yet, but you start having moments where you kind of start getting what old is. Especially if you didn't take care of yourself, I have moments where I'm like, wow, this seems early for this. Like, this is something that happens to me a lot. I'll be sitting watching TV or doing nothing, and all of a sudden I'll realize, I need to wipe my ass right now. I mean, nothing happened, but I really gotta wipe my ass right now. Right now. Gotta make trips to the bathroom just to wipe my ass. How did this happen already? I'm 45. Already my asshole's just like, ugh. My asshole's like the waistband on old pajama bottoms. Just kind of loose and ineffectual.
My asshole's like a bag of leaves that nobody tied up. It's just sitting on the lawn, full and open. Puking leaves under the grass with every wisp of wind. Some kid kicks it over on his way home from a tough day at middle school. Rats. It's a pretty accurate description of my asshole. Here's another thing about my age right now.
The announcements that you would have heard, please turn off your cell phones. I mean, you can take pictures, but turn off the flash. That's stupid, because it's not... You know, like when you're watching the World Series and there's all, like your flash is lighting Yankee Stadium. Just leave your flash off. If you have, don't yell out during the show. If you have something you want to say to me, totally, this is what we do. We write it down, and then you go outside in the lobby, and then you go home and you kill yourself. Because that's selfish. This is a rhetorical performance. It's got nothing to do with you. Don't text or Twitter during the show. Just live your life. Don't keep telling people what you're doing. Just, because also, it lights up your big dumb face. It lights it up. I see this beautiful sea of darkness and then just one guy. So don't do that. What else? No Jews. I think they said that earlier, but they told me I have to say it. Jews aren't allowed. If you're Jewish, this is a good time to go. If you see somebody kind of Jewy looking, then please tell an usher, and they will. Sir, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
I'm trying to learn things about myself. I got a scale for my bathroom. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm just interested in the data. And I did learn something. I learned this because I weigh myself every night before I go to bed. And then I also weigh myself in the morning when I get up. And here's what I learned. I weigh 2 pounds less every morning than when I went to bed. And I found out why. It's because I shit in my bed every night. I do. I take a full 2-pound dump in bed. And then I turn out the lights and I go to sleep. Because I don't want to sleep alone. Your needs change when you get older. At my age, a big pile of shit's as good as anybody.
When you have kids, you also have to belong to kid and parent culture. You have to know a lot of parents and a lot of other kids. You have to hang out with other kids. Sometimes they're not even kids you know. Like when I go to parks with my kids, I play with them. I play with my kids. Some people don't do that. They neglect they just take their kids to the parks so they don't have to talk to them, and those kids kind of glom onto our shit. Like, I'll be sitting at the park playing a fun game with my kids, and then there's this woman over in a bench, and she's got her phone, she's just staring at her phone, and her kid's like, Mommy, talk. Just leave me alone, I'm trying to cheat on your father. Stop it. And then the kid comes up to us, can I be in your family? It's creepy. One time I was at a swimming pool with my kids, a public pool, and I had my daughter, my 6-year-old, on my arm like this. She was like clamped on, and she's kicking. It was so much fun. And then she got off, and another random child just clamped on. I was like, bleh! It's like a rat. Get off of me. But I love you. I don't know you, kid. Stop it. I think the kid's dead. I don't know what happened. Some kids in my kids' class, I like some of those kids. Some of those kids are cool. They come over to my house, they play with I like them. Other kids I don't like, especially little boys. Little boys in my kids' class, I hate them. I hate little boys. I'm like the opposite of a pedophile. I just hate. There's one kid in my daughter's class who I hate so much. And it's really fucked up because I'm 44 and I hate a 6-year-old. I mean, I hate him with a grown-up, preoccupying hate. I've thought about him 3 times since I came out here. That's how much I really hate this kid. I'm going to tell you about him. And I have to make up a name because he's a real child who lives in this city, so I have to make up a name in order to tell the story about him. His name is just Jizanthapus. Let's just call him Jizanthapus. Fine. Okay. He's in my daughter's class. They're in first grade. And when we take our kids to class, there's a little procedure. You bring your kid to school, and they have their backpack and their jacket, and they go to their cubby, and they take it all off, and they put it in the cubby. Then they take their the homework folder and their lunchbox and put them in the bins. It's little; those are their little responsibilities. You help them do it, so they'll blah, 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 blah. But Jizanthapus, when he comes in, he doesn't do none of that shit. He just walks in and just sheds it all. He just... And his mom, his weak piece of shit mom, picks it all up. I hate his mother. Because you hate a weak parent when you're a parent. Because it's like you're raising Hitler, motherfucker. Do your job. Get in there. If our parent group in our class were a platoon of soldiers, she'd be the one that we'd put soap bars and socks and... We'd frag that bitch in her sleep. She would wash right the fuck out. She wouldn't make it. When Jizanthapus drops his shit, this bitch picks it up. She doesn't, she just goes, I'm Jizanthapus. He does, I'm just doing a thing. I'll get it though, and then I'll put it all in the bins for him. And she puts it all away for him, which frees him up to punch other kids in the face. Because he's a shitty, horrible, violent child. One time I was at school, and I was volunteering at recess. It's something that you do, you know, if you're a good parent, about once a month or whatever it is, you go to school, and you just stand there, you watch recess, you masturbate, whatever you want to do. That is now the worst thing. That's the worst thing now. Now that's the worst thing I ever said. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll find it. I mean, you could. It's a public school. Nobody would even give a shit. But I haven't thus far. Hasn't gotten that bad. Anyway, I'm watching Recess, and Recess is a trip. If you've never been to Recess, it's intense because it's like the universe. Like, you know, if you watch the ocean crash waves on the beach for a long time, you start feeling like you're understanding how everything works. That's what Recess is like, because every natural chaotic energy is represented at Recess. There's kids swirling around in these big roiling crazy things. There's one kid just spazzing out, just some singularity kid, just a binary system of two kids holding hands and they're running and just clotheslining every child at a certain height. They're keeping a uniform height to the playground. So I'm watching Recess, and I see Jizanthapus, and he's walking with this evil... This kid is like evil, stuck out of time. He's like... I always picture him in a gray fur coat with bones in it, and lots of rings from people that he killed, and just walking. And then I see my daughter, and she's standing there just by herself. And there's Jizanthapus, and I know he's going for her. It was like an action movie thriller thing. Dun, 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 dun. And I think to myself, I gotta go there and I gotta protect her. But then I thought, let him do a little something first. Let him do just a little something because I want this kid in my life. I want a reason. I want aerial photos of him doing some shit to my family that I can bring to the UN and get authority to waterboard this little motherfucker. I want to get him on a flight to Venezuela with an envelope on his head and duct tape and all that shit. So anyway, he goes for her, grabs her arm, starts twisting it. She goes, nah! I run over. I'm just knocking kids over. I run, grab him. And I look in his little face and I go, listen to me, Jizanthapus. if you ever in your life touch her again. And as I'm doing this, I realize this is not cool that I'm doing this. This is totally inappropriate. It's really wrong. It's way over the top. It's too grown up. I mean, it's like he's a drug dealer in my building that I finally fucking... This ends now, motherfucker. I will cut you. I don't care. And he just starts crying pitifully, and I just walked away from him. I just got away. And then all the teachers, everybody that gathers around, Jizanthapus, what's wrong with you? And he's like, and he couldn't articulate it because he's not getting educated. Fuck him. I was there going, yeah, you could have told on me, bitch, but you're too stupid now, which is your own fault. You future ditch-digging piece of shit. Oh, I'm gonna love watching you grow up into nothing, motherfucker. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna fuck your mom and not call her, too. I'm gonna ruin her summer. I'm gonna fuck your mom twice and then never call her. And I don't know your dad because he ran out on you, but I'm gonna find him, I'm gonna turn myself gay, and then I'm gonna fuck him too. I'm gonna suck his dick so good that he just has to change his whole life. And I'm gonna move into a place with him in the village for a couple of months, and totally he'll cut off ties to all his life and start wearing cutoffs that are really tight, and and then I'll go to some Christian turn you not gay place, and then I'll come back and go, what's wrong with you, faggot, and make him feel bad inside. Like, what has he done? Well, you gotta protect your kids. You gotta look after them. You gotta protect your kids. You gotta do it, man. A lot of people talk the talk, but, A lot of people say that shit. I would throw myself under a bus for my... Oh, yeah? Would you fuck another kid's dad and confuse him sexually and yourself sexually in the process? And use homophobia that you hate against another person just because some kid shoved your kid for a second? That's my baby girl. I gotta do it, son. I gotta suck that dick. That's my baby girl. I gotta do it for her. All right. I hate that child. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, this is going a little off the rails. I don't remember what I was trying to say. I'd like to be a better person. I would. I'd like to be a better person. And I think I'm getting worse as a person. Because as you get older, you start finding out, let me give you an example before I rented a car a couple weeks ago in Los Angeles, had the car for a few days, and then when I went home, I had to drop the car at the rental place. You gotta go to the rental place that's off the airport, give them the car, give them your thing with the mileage, you gotta get on a bus, and then go to your terminal and check in. I was late, and I was worried about missing my flight, so I knew I had no time to do any of that. So I never did this before, I just drove my car right to the terminal and just left it there. And I got on the plane. And once I was on the plane and I had a little moment, I called Hertz, and I said, hey, listen, your car is sitting out in front of Terminal 4, and the keys are in it. So that's where it is. And the guy was like, you can't do that. You have to return it to this location and then get... And I go, well, I didn't do that already. And now I'm leaving California. So if you want your car, you need to go to that place where it is. And he was like, oh, Jesus, man. All right, we'll get it. And that was the end of it. And I realized I could do this every time. Every time I rent a car, because of course they want you to do all that shit. But if you don't, they still want the car back. They're gonna send a dude. You could drive a car till you don't want it. Just get out of it while it's moving and just walk away. Well, I don't feel like being in that car any longer. Just call Hertz. Hi, your car is drifting into the intersection of 28th and Broadway. If you're interested, it's now your problem. But see, this is a terrible realization because you should act in a way that if everybody acted that way, things would work out. You should, because it would be mayhem if everybody was like that. And most people kind of don't care. Most people are very selfish. Most people don't give a shit what happens as long as they get to do their favorite thing. People don't even want to back off from their favorite thing. They won't even do their second favorite thing. Like, you ever seen somebody like they're at an intersection and they want to make a left, but they're in the right, all the way right lane because they messed up. So now they're, okay, here's the guy. He's in the right lane and there's a lot of cars, like 6th Avenue, like a lot of cars, and he wants to make that left. So what does he do? He just does it anyway. He just goes ahead and he just shoves his car through everybody's life without any... And everybody's beep, honking and outraged, and you always see the guy go, I have to. There's no other possible thing I could do. What else could I do except go up one more block and then go left and take 4 seconds? That's not my favorite way, though. That only meets 99% of my criteria. But I'm selfish. I would like...
Anyway, I was on a plane and there's these 2 babies and they're crying the whole time. Crying the whole flight, and that happens a lot. I don't think they knew each other, they're just crying. I've seen this on so many flights, I started to wonder, is there a reason for this? Is there like an actual reason why babies... So I looked it up. Turns out there's an actual reason why babies cry on airplanes, and it's because they're upset that gay people are getting married. Yeah. They're like really upset. Like inconsolably upset. Honey, it's the country's changing. And I don't agree with them. I think if people are in love, they should get married. But they can't accept that. Because they're just, they're just being babies. Babies are selfish. They are. Babies are selfish. They just, meh. No baby ever goes, meh, but how are you doing, though? I have 2 daughters, and both of them at one time were babies, and I held them and they cried on planes. It's happened to me. I've had a baby on a plane. If you're ever, this is how selfish people are. When you're on a plane and you hear a baby crying, you think that's happening to you. You're like, oh, this is gonna ruin my flight. It's gonna ruin it. Well, look at the parent, because that person is holding a crying baby on a plane, which means they've been traveling with a baby all day, which means they have a baby. Okay? So their life isn't even good. They don't like anything. Their whole life was, Jesus. If there's any joy for them, it's that this is now bothering other people. Yeah, you listen to this shit now. Wah! I remember one time my babe was crying on the plane. She was really upset. And this guy, some businessman on the plane, because businessmen always think that every flight is a private plane of theirs that we're all like piggybacking on. And this guy has this fucking newspaper, and he turns around to look at me and my baby, and he looks right at me. He doesn't kind of like go like this. He looks at me like, Like, could ya? Like, oh, I'm sorry, is this bothering you? Let me just... You all just clapped for a dead baby. You applauded a dead baby. Yeah.
I just don't look at
a woman as a pair of tits anymore, and I wish I did, because I could get ladies here, because that's what it takes, just to go, but I can't now. Like, I went to a club, you know, like a club. And I'm standing there looking at all the people, and there's the women, the hot chicks, the hot girl at the bar. You know, when you see that, she's a hot girl at the bar. She's got the shirt and the skirt and the boots, those 3 lines. There's like some perfect ratio that they hit with those 3 lines, and and they're all standing there like that. And I used to look at somebody like that and I'm like, wow, she's an angel. What could I ever say to make her like me? Now I look at her and I'm like, what is that? Is that even a person? What the fuck kind of person is that? Is that an identity even? Who would want to be that? I have 2 daughters. I pray they don't grow up to be the hot girl at the bar. What kind of... Hey, what do? People want to fuck me. Really? That's it? Yeah. I go to this club and they want to fuck me over here. Not you.
I was thinking about, you know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about Jesus. I was thinking about Jesus. And after I came, I thought that... Here's what I think about Jesus, because I was raised Catholic, and my main feeling about Jesus is that I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for Jesus. I think he had a hard life. The last day was particularly difficult, but he had a hard life, Jesus. He had to wear that underwear, that thong, just that fucking dish rag, just burlap yanked up. Ugh, imagine. Just the rash. Fuck. But I've been thinking a lot about Jesus, and I've been thinking about a lot about his life, and I started reading a book. I have one here. I have a book about Jesus right here that I want to share with you. This is a book about Jesus Christ. Just give me a minute here. Okay, this is a book about Jesus. Actually, the whole book is not about Jesus. Only this much. Only that much is about Jesus. The rest of it is the Jews going like, and then we walked for 50 years in the desert, and we only had a little bit of oil. It was difficult. It's verbose. It's a lot. Look at it. It's just Jews just fucking, and then Jacob bought a goat, and he had Isaac, who had Ruth, who had Abraham. And Abraham lived to be 800. Yeah, I bet he did, too. The Jews in the early chapters are all like 800, and then God was like, I can't with these fucking Jews for 800 years. I can't. We're starting heart disease right now. Cut them down to 10%. But so that's the Jews part. And this is the Jesus part. And they tell you the life of Jesus. But here's the weird part. They tell it to you again and again and again and again. They keep telling the same story. First Matthew tells it. And then Mark is like, dude, that's not what the fuck. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you. Hey, Paul, shut up. You weren't even here. And I started reading it because I never read it before. You know, because I was raised Catholic. It's true. Catholic Church, they do not encourage reading. The Jews read their shit in Hebrew. And down south, they fucking read the Bible. That's what they do. But the Catholics, they want you to come in. They want you to come in so they can tell you. They want you to sit down and they tell you. And you're like, could I read the book? No, I got it. Just put the book down. Put it down. I'll tell you what. You don't fucking believe me? Listen, I'll tell you what happened. So I got interested in it because I had a feeling about Jesus as a person. And it's interesting because when you actually read it, it's not as lofty. It's like just regular people. Like here's this story of Jesus turning water into wine, okay? This is John chapter 2, okay? The word of the Lord. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's what it says. Just listen. Just listen to the first part. Okay. And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the wedding. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, They have no wine here. This is just anybody's mom at a wedding. They have no wine, Jesus. And then listen to this. Listen to this. And Jesus saith unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Jesus is like, Mom, don't. Fucking don't. Anyway, I won't read the whole thing out of there, but it's a weird story. Because he's at a wedding, and they don't have any wine, so he goes to the guy who runs the wedding and goes, Hey, what's up? And the guy goes, Yeah, sorry, man, there's no wine. And Jesus says, Look in the water barrel. That's all he says. Just look at the water barrel. Like a close-up magician, like flip over the card. Maybe it's not the Red Queen. So the guy looks in the water barrel, and he had turned it all into wine, and everyone rejoiced. Except the guy running the wedding was probably like, We did need some water. This is actually a bigger problem. I have a feeling a lot of his miracles were met with mixed... Like, thanks, Jesus, that's... Fuck. That's a lot of fucking fish, Jesus. Like Lazarus. Lazarus. Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And Jesus went to his tomb and he just said, Rise, Lazarus. And it worked. Lazarus came out of the tomb like... And Lazarus' wife was like, Are you fucking kidding me right now? I thought this day could not get worse. But here's the story I wanted to share with you. Because this story is really weird. I didn't know this story till I sat down and read the whole book. I mean, the Jesus part. I read the whole thing and I found this story that I never heard before. And I've seen every Jesus movie, and this is not in any Jesus movie. This is not a very told story because it's not clear what it means. Doesn't have a clear, usually the Jesus stories are obvious. They what they mean. He washed your feet, so, you should wash your feet, whatever the fuck they're teaching you. But this one, this is the story of Jesus cursing a fig tree. How many people by applause know of this story? Okay, that's all I need, just to make it clear that it really happened. I mean, none of this happened. But I don't know. I'm fucking with you. I don't know. I'm just saying, I just wanted to clear that I didn't make it up. They did. All right, okay, here's what it says. This is Mark chapter 11. It's when Mark went broke. Okay. And Jesus entered into Jerusalem, and when he had looked round about upon all things, and now the eventide was come, he went out unto Bethany with the 12. Bethany was like a suburb of Jerusalem, so, you go into town, you see all this shit, but you stay like at the Marriott by the airport. That's where Bethany is. And on the morrow, when they were come from Bethany, Jesus was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off, having leaves, he came, if haply he might find anything thereon. But when he came to the tree, he saw nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and saith unto the tree, No man shall eat fruit of thee hereafter and forever. And the disciples heard it. And in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou doth curseth is withered away and dead. And Jesus answered and saith unto them, Have faith in God. What the fuck kind of a Jesus story is that? What the fuck are we supposed to... Hey, Jesus, you kill that tree. That's right, motherfucker. What are we supposed to learn from cranky, hungry Jesus? There's no figs on the tree, so he's like, you're fucking dead, you piece of shit tree. You're fucking dead. And the tree's like, but the time of figs is not yet. It's just, I need another week. You want fruit out of season, go to Whole Foods, you fucking Jew. I didn't do anything. I mean, you can't act like that, man. You can't act like that. You walk around acting like that and somebody will nail you to a cross. That's what'll happen. That's what'll happen. There's a few missteps in the Jesus story, I'm telling you. Like when he went to Jerusalem for the first time, his friends put him on a donkey and they took him through town, through Jerusalem, and they're like, King of the Jews, y'all. King of the motherfucking Jews. And the Jews did not like that. The Jews were like, not my president, whatever. So they nailed him to a cross. And here's
Abortion. Some people think it's murder. Some people don't. I think people should get abortions, like a lot, like as many as you can. You should try to get a lot of abortions. You know why? Because it creates jobs. More abortions, more jobs for the doctors and the nurses and the dumpster guy. Everybody gets a job. They have to work. How are they going to feed their kids if you don't kill yours? You got to think of everybody. Abortion is a big topic, of course, because Roe v. Wade was overturned. Roe versus Wade. Of course, we all know what this is. This was a court case. Roe was a woman who wanted an abortion, and Wade was the baby, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I never found out who Wade was. Wade must have been the baby. Anyway. But now that we don't have that, every state has to come up with their own law based on how people feel. They have to listen to people and see how they feel. I think most Americans feel, on average, the same thing about abortion. They feel like people should be able to get abortions if they need them, but, just keep it down a little bit. That's all. That's just go ahead. But, come on. Do it, but don't be like, woo-hoo-hoo! Like, So we need a law that covers that keeps it available but limits it. Here's what I think we should do. Let's make this the law. You can get an abortion anytime, anywhere, but if you get an abortion, you have to eat it. I think that's fair. Because that'll make you, fuck, I gotta eat it? I better do it soon. Just trying to make everybody happy, Some Catholics believe that contraception is murder. They think if you wear a condom, if you stop a sperm from getting to an egg, you killed a possible baby. By that logic, I could say that any woman that won't fuck me is a murderer. Let me tell you, there's a bunch of murdering bitches out there. But murder is a weird law structure also. That's not a sentence, didn't make any sense. But
Murder should be simple because it's a binary crime. You kill somebody or you don't. They're alive or they're dead. It's one or the other. But the laws around murder are a little murky. One person kill somebody, get 100 years. Somebody else gets 20. Why? What's the difference? Here's what they base your sentence on with murder. They base it on how you felt when you murdered them. That's weirdly important. They say, okay, you shot him in the face. But what was up with you, man? Like, what was going on? Like, come on. I think if you murder somebody, your sentence should be based on how old the person was that you murdered. That should matter. How much of their life did you take away? Like, if you see a 3-year-old girl in the park and you just kick her to death. It's a hypothetical. Fucking grow up. It's a hypothetical. I'm not asking you to go do that. I'm just asking you to just really imagine just kicking a 3-year-old till she's dead. If you kill a 3-year-old, you should do a lot of time. You should do a lot of time, unless she's got like diabetes. You got to work it all in. But what if you kill somebody who's like 98? He's 98 and he's like in a hospice. He's not even good 98. He's in a hospice. You know what hospice is? And their parents are divorced also. And I remember when we told our kids about that we were going to divorce. If you get divorced, you should tell your children. So we had to do it carefully because they were 5 and 2 years old at the time. So we had to put it in a way that they could comprehend. So I remember we sat them down and I said, okay, listen, you know how you love your dog? You love your dog. Like sometimes you give your dog food from your plate. You're not supposed to, but you do that because you love your dog. Remember the other day your mom and I were like, don't give the dog any ham, but you did because you love your dog. Okay, so that's why we're getting a divorce. Because you don't listen. And we just can't take it anymore. It's just too hard to not be listened to. So we're gonna move to separate homes and each have you for half the week because neither of us wants to have you all the time anymore. Yeah, and it's very sad because I love your mother very, very much. And she loves me so much. But we hate you more. That's how we handled it. You do your best, you know? That's all you can do with your kids. Just do your best. Nobody fucking knows right from wrong. When I was a kid, they just taught us things to try to keep us just shut the fuck up. Our morals were just shut the fuck up. Things like slow and steady wins the race. They taught us that. Slow and steady wins the race. Really? Does it win the race? You know what beats slow and steady? Fast and steady. Kicks the shit out of slow and steady. Slow and steady beats old and retarded. That's about it. Stop telling that to kids. A lot of what they teach kids is just to make them polite people, you know? Like they teach them that there's words you shouldn't use. There's bad words. Don't use the bad words. I can't teach my kids that because I do this for a living. But I didn't want my kids to be, you know, assholes. So I used to tell them, like, okay, look, there's no bad words. There's no bad words. All words are good, bad, nothing. But there's some people that get upset when you use certain words. So if you're going to use those words, look at the person first and try to guess if they're that kind of person. Sometimes you can offend somebody when you weren't even trying to. Like there's certain phrases certain statements that if you're going to say them, you should say them without stopping in the middle. Certain things, if you're going to say them, don't clear your throat in the middle. Okay? You don't want to say things like, there are too many black people suffering from discrimination. We need to stop the Jews from feeling excluded. I once fucked a baby, and then I fucked him again. So you want to get through that one. Otherwise, people get the wrong idea. They'll think you only fucked that baby once. But it's tricky, you know, if you're trying to teach your kids right from wrong, you got to choose a side often because not everybody agrees on what's right and wrong. So how do you know, you know?
I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now, do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit.
most parents, like this whole country, our thing is the children. We have to do it all for the children. And meanwhile, nobody gives a shit about how they raise their kids. People put minimal effort into it. They have their kids, they're like consumers of their kids. Like they want to call customer service. Why does he play video games all day? I don't understand why he plays video. Maybe because you bought him a fucking video game, you idiots. Throw it away. Who told you that was a good idea? A developing mind. Fucking idiots. My kids don't even watch television. And when I tell most other parents that, you know what they say? They go, fuck you. Why? Just 'cause fuck you, fucking hippie, weirdo. They're gonna grow up weirdos. 'Cause they don't watch just fucking anger and colors screaming in their face. If your kids watch TV, here's what you should do. Just if you think that's really a good idea to have them watch TV, when next time your kid's watching television, just come up behind them when they don't know you're there and just turn it off without any warning. Just go, watch what happens. They go, do you think that's a good sign? Do you think it's a sign that it's healthy for them? That when it's taken away, they go, because you've created such a high bar of stimulus that nothing competes. A beautiful day is shit to a child now. A gorgeous panoramic day with hawks catching fucking mice and flying away. And bears with fucking fish in their teeth. And the kid's like, I want to watch a television! This is nothing! That's what's wrong with our kids. They can't...
New York City. I am a native New Yorker. A lot of my friends that used to live in New York have now left, yeah. They'll ask me stuff. They're like, what is New York like with the pandemic winding down? I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of empty, but there's still nowhere to park. Which is crazy when you think about it, because 43,000 people died from COVID here, so where are all the parking spots? Now, I know what you're going to say. They didn't all drive, but there should be at least 5 extra spots. I shouldn't be circling for hours. I still hit traffic. That's how I know we have not even made a dent in the number of people that need to die in New York City for it to be enjoyable. It's not great. I lived in New York City my whole life. I've never had a good day. People are like, why don't you move? I'm like, where am I going to bring this attitude to? Think I'm going to do well in Oklahoma? Yeah, and if you drive in the city, you can't be a good person. I was driving through the Holland Tunnel the other day. This lady cut me off. I just said out loud, I'm going to smash my car right into her. That's what I thought was a good idea. And then we were coming out. I was able to cut her off, and she got very upset. She told me to go fuck myself, and she had such an angry look on her face, and I remember it because I think about it when I come. Yeah. She had a bumper sticker on her car that said her son graduated from law school. I was like, I should track him down and date him and then just show up on Christmas. Be like, you remember me from the tunnel? You told me to go fuck myself, now I'm fucking your kid. I think what I'm trying to say is I want a gun. No, I can't get a gun. I would use it the first day. So, what I've started doing instead, though, is just fake shooting people. You can fake shoot as many people as you want. There's actually no law against it. I was trying to get off an exit the other day, and this guy was also trying to get off, but he missed the exit, so he's just reversing on the highway. Not worried about killing all of us. And we just ended up at a red light together. I just put my window down, emptied a whole fucking clip right into his dumb fucking face. Now, if that was a real gun, I would never get to see how mad he got. I don't know. I try not to pay attention to what's going on. People already want to talk about the next election. They're like, you know, I think Trump's going to run again. Who are you going to vote for? I'm like, I am one flat tire away from killing myself. I vote for me not to be here. I don't know. I do love, though, that Hunter Biden is a crackhead. Doesn't it make you feel so much better about yourself? You're like, if the president's son can't stop doing crack, how am I gonna stop? Yeah. He's been doing crack for a long time, which I really respect. What is that saying? If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I don't think his family cares if he stops doing crack or not. I think they're like, hey, can you stop filming yourself while you're doing crack with hookers? A couple of months ago, I was in a restaurant, and Hillary and Bill Clinton were in there, and I asked to take a picture with them, not even because I like them. I just want to make a joke on Instagram about Epstein not killing himself. So we take the picture. And then Bill goes to take a selfie with just me and him, and Hillary goes, she already got her picture. I was like, Hill, it's a little late in the game to be on it. I know. She was so mean to me, it made me very upset that I voted for her. And then I started thinking about what their fights are probably like. At some point, he has to want to shut her up. He's like, well, we're gonna eat dinner where I want to eat tonight because I won the election. Actually, I won twice, and I had to run against real people. How upsetting do you think that is for Bill? If I was Bill, I would have been so embarrassed that I would have hired the same people the Clintons hired to kill everybody else that works for them. Have them just kill Hillary. I don't know. I do want to be rich, though. We all want to be rich. I don't want to be too rich, though. I do want to stop right before it's okay to fuck kids. What if I do it and I love it? No, I don't want to fuck kids. But I also didn't think I'd like caviar, so... Now, I know what you're going to say. Poor people also fuck kids, but there's no party. It's a lot sadder. It's just a guy in a UPS uniform walking over his truck like, man, I can't believe I fucked that kid. This is not good. But, you know, rich people are on their yacht like, man, I can't believe we're fucking these kids. Just high-fiving each other. Like, you worked so hard, Bill, you deserve it. My godchild told his mother, who's my best friend, that he's transgender. And me and her were talking about it, and I was like, well, do you think he's confused? Do you think he is transgender? Or is there a small chance he failed every subject in school this year and doesn't want to get punished this summer? You can't punish a transgender kid. Honestly, if a transgender person murdered your whole family and you were being interviewed by the news, you'd have to be like, I feel so blessed that they would choose to murder my family. I'm so happy they can just be who they are. Look, I do think you should be able to do whatever you want. No, stop. I have to get out of here. Stop. I do think you should be able to do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. Like if you want to cut your dick off, or your tits, or get a dick, I think the government should pay for it. If we can pay for the whole Ukrainian war, we could finance a couple of cocks. It does make me think, though, there's got to be just like a lot of loose dicks and tits in a landfill somewhere. And we got to make sure it doesn't get into the ocean. then all of the turtles are gonna choke on all of the cocks. Can you imagine the PSAs for that? Where they're like, please dispose of your cocks properly. The turtles are dying again. Except for that one gay turtle. I don't know. Only 5% of the population is transgender, and they're all in the 8th grade. People are very concerned about it. It's like, hey, it's gonna work itself out. They have no idea what being trans is. They think it's just changing their name. Wait till they find out what they really have to change. But my godchild, he was born a boy, identifies as a girl, and is dating someone that was born a girl and identifies as a boy, so they're just a straight couple. So, it's gonna be okay. Personally, I do love transgender women. I think they're very pretty. But that's the thing, like, no matter how pretty your face is and how nice your new pussy is, you're still gonna shit like a dude. There's no surgery for that. Like, Elaine, you shit 8 times today, and most of it's on the wall. Personally, I don't understand why transgender people get very upset if you call them by the wrong pronoun. I'm like, you were born the wrong gender, so obviously you get mistakes happen. I don't know. I'm glad we could all get together. I know it's been a couple of rough years for all of us. I do think, though, it's been the hardest on white women. Oh my God, everybody hates us so much. I'm like, I don't know why. We're being the most helpful. Like, anytime we see a black guy, we're like, hey, I'm gonna call the cops. They give you a ride home. Not all white women suck. It's usually the ones that are wearing scarves in the summer. Just getting upset by jokes that have nothing to do with them. We're like, why are you getting upset about this joke about Asians? Let Asian people get upset about that. Why try to take that from them also? I figured it out, though. We just have way too many white women right now, and nobody is checking us. And it's because we don't have any more serial killers. They were keeping down the white woman population. Whether you want to think about it like that or not, Ted Bundy was a hero. And how do we repay him? We locked him up for doing the Lord's work. Yeah, Ted Bundy was a family guy. He just wanted to hang out with his kids and read to them and hold his wife's face while they fucked, but he couldn't. He had to be out there every night just killing white women so that black people could be safe. And when you think of it like that, it does make you think that Martin Luther King was a lot of talk. No, obviously, I think they're both great. They're both great, you know. Let's be honest, you know, MLK wasn't out there killing white women, you know. He was too busy fucking them. What? He could have choked some of them out a little too hard. It's almost like he didn't care at all. I guess what I'm trying to say is Ted Bundy has done more for black people than Martin Luther King, and he should also have a holiday during Black History Month. All right, guys, that's all for me. Thank you so much.
Confidence. The kind of confidence I have is very specific. It's that I know how to make jokes about terrible things. I know how to do that, and I know how to do that. So that's my core competency. And there's certain people that think there are things that you shouldn't make jokes about, like Auschwitz. You shouldn't make jokes about Auschwitz, some people think, because it was terrible. Many people died there. Children were killed in Auschwitz. Children that could have grown up and moved to Brooklyn and hated black people, and they didn't get to do that. Exactly. It's terrible. It's terrible. So some people think you shouldn't joke about Auschwitz. I have a friend, a comedian from England, who made a joke about Auschwitz last year. He got in a lot of trouble. It was a big deal. It was in the newspapers. He lost jobs. And at one point, Auschwitz tweeted about it. It said Auschwitz with a blue check. So it was like, oh, cool, it's really them, you know? And they tweeted like, that's not funny. And I don't know. I mean, who's running the social accounts? Why is the death camp tweeting? Who is it? I got a summer job at Auschwitz. I run the Twitter. Because people have different reactions to terrible things, you know? Some people think comedy helps. I don't think it helps. It doesn't help. It's like, I remember one time, there was people, you remember during the Iraq War, I don't remember which one, but it was one of the Iraq Wars. And somebody was organizing through the USO some comedians to go to Walter Reed Medical Center and visit wounded soldiers in their hospital rooms, which is a terrible, it sounds nice, but it's a terrible idea. They don't need a comedian like, hey, where you from? Fuck you. You know, it's not helpful. And I wasn't even anybody. I wasn't famous, but I did it. I was like, I'm volunteering. I fucking hate that me so much, you know? But I did it. And I remember we're at the hospital. It's a very serious place. It's an army hospital. And the army doctor is giving us a briefing about the soldier that I'm about to go in and see. He says, this kid's name is Travis. He's from Iowa. He's 20. He was in Baghdad on patrol and somebody threw an IUD. And I mean IED, sorry. It wasn't an IUD. It's not an effective weapon, really. Huh. No. That's funnier than the actual joke, unfortunately. But I'll go on. It was an IUD. IED. Fuck. It's an improvised exploding device. You know, it's like a bag of ammonia with Canadian pennies in it. And they strap it to a Nokia flip phone and, you know, that's what happened at Travis. So the doctor says he's been in surgery for 20 hours. He's about to come out of it. You're the first face he's going to see. So can we get his mom to open for me, maybe? This is a bad idea. So I asked the doctor, I said, hey, what do I fucking say to this kid? He says, here's what you don't say. He said, don't say, how you doing? And they tell you that. If you visit a trauma patient, don't say, how you doing? It's stupid. So, okay, I go in there. Travis is laying there. I'm like over his bed. It's obscene. I can't say, how you doing? So I said the only worst thing. I said, what are you going to do now? Anyway, that's what happened with Travis. But, you know, people's reaction to terrible things is different depending, like some people, you know, try to, like I saw a store and on the door it said no hate allowed in here.